running ads, displaying ads on your logs and all that. Then the second part is the fact that you can automate the whole process.
Yeah.
So the whole blog can blog for itself. Content will be created by itself, and you don't even necessarily have to use AI this time around. You can outsource content automatically from different sources.
I think it's just interesting because it was for like a year. I think you building out the program, the platform, exactly what it is to where it is now, the plans that you mentioned that you have for building it. And I was literally in the office just beside your office watching you build this thing constantly for over like a whole year. One of my favorite things ever is just having conversations with people that are doing interesting things. And it's funny because throughout my whole final year, I used to have an office in the university, and beside my office, he was the one occupying the space beside my office. And for an entire year, I literally watched them build out this program where they are teaching people how to build high income skills like building WordPress websites, SEO, e-commerce sites, digital marketing, monetizing it, things of that nature. And in my third year, I took a course, digital marketing. He was the one that actually taught that course. And the things I learned from that course, I used to build a video editing agency that I eventually made 7 figures off of. And it's just interesting to see people that are building interesting things. There's 2 things I usually get from having conversations with people doing interesting things. One of them is I get strategies to implement with the things that I'm already doing. And another thing is like just newfound motivation for the things that I want to do. I just find that I'm more motivated to do the things that I'm already doing, right? So that is something that I always try to do, meet interesting people and have interesting conversations with them. If this whole building a high income skill is something you're interested in, right? I'll leave a link to it somewhere in the description to what they're doing. It should be the second link in the description after my newsletter link. And yeah, it's also completely free, like entirely free. So if you're interested in it, check it out. It will be the second link in the description. So yeah, have conversations with people that are doing interesting things. Alright, so I'm in the mood for a bit of a rant because there's a couple of things that I've been thinking about recently that I've honestly just been very confused about. So usually when I'm confused, I just pick up the camera and then I talk, and usually by the end of my whole rant, I have a bit more clarity on what exactly to do and what steps I need to take. So pardon me ahead because this is going to be all over the place, just a couple of things. So the major thing that I've been thinking about and I've been really confused about is this content thing, making videos on the internet. It's become a bit weird now because first of all, like, I don't even know what I want the videos to be about. That's like the first overarching problem, right? I don't know what I want the videos to be about. On one end, I've always gone with the theme of like growth, which is, you know, becoming a better person, designing your life, all of that, which is fine. But then I feel like that's not detailed enough. From most of the creators that I noticed that I personally watch and I really enjoy watching, there's a mission that they have. There's something that they are doing. For example, in the early days of Imangaji, which was when I used to watch his content, I don't really watch his content any longer. It was like building this SMMA, right? He was building a business, a marketing agency. Somebody else that I watch is Daniel Dillon, right? Daniel Dillon is currently trying to build this fulfillment center in China and he's traveling over the world to try to build this business, right? For Minoli, which is also another creator I watch, he is currently trying to build his creator business to $100,000 per month. Who else do I watch? For most of the people that I watch, there's usually a mission. There's something that they are trying to do, right? There's some form of mission that's they are taking the audience on a journey, you know, on, right? They are carrying along the audience or carrying the audience along on that journey, right? And documenting the process of that journey. That's the reason why I watch them. And then when I think back to the contents that I am making, right now, it just feels all over the place. And one of the things you probably notice as I'm saying this is, first of all, I think a lot. I don't like to call myself an overthinker, but this is just how it is. Like, I tend to think a lot. Another thing you notice is that I have like very high standards for myself and I tend to put a lot of pressure on myself. So I'm just like stating that, you know, ahead of time. But then when I see these creators like videos, I think back to mine and I'm like, okay, what mission do I want to have? I want people to come back to keep watching the videos. So what mission do I want to have? I need to have a central mission of what I'm doing, what I'm like focusing on, that I'm documenting about, because I can't just document my growth journey. What does it mean? Like, what does my growth journey mean? Right. So one route I could decide to go is the route of like the Ali Abdal type thing, where I'm talking about productivity, I'm talking about habits, routines, all of those things. But if I'm being very honest, right, like I personally, that just doesn't interest me any longer. I feel like I had a phase, and most likely like that's like a phase where you're consuming a lot of productivity stuff, habits, routines, setting goals, all those types of things. But I feel like at some point you just outgrow it, and you realize that the highest leverage activity you could be doing is literally just taking action and not watching any of those videos any longer, right? So that doesn't excite me. I could decide to do that, but I don't think I would really enjoy the process of making those types of videos. So I really don't want to do that, right? The other route is like, okay, documenting, which is what I've said I've always wanted to do on the channel, like documents. But the question is, what exactly am I documenting? Right now, I feel like my videos have been a bit all over the place, right? And like I said, I tend to put a lot of pressure on myself. So you'll probably notice that the videos have been all over the place, right? I've done the whole like, okay, forest framework in-depth video. I've done POV, going to Lagos as a 20-year-old, talking about things I've learned in my transition to school. I've done the commit to something for a year. I've done like the living in Lagos as a 20-year-old, which was a vlog, just documenting and talking about random stuff. Then remote job stuff, then getting my life together. Like, it's just been all over the place. There's no central theme. There's no reason why, at least from my POV, right? And I'll be curious to know what you guys think. There's no reason why somebody would want to watch multiple videos like and binge the channel. So you might be asking, like, why do I even want people to binge the channel? I thought we were doing this to document your journey and you didn't really care what other people thought, blah, 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 blah. That's true. Or maybe it's half true. I do want to document my journey. And I like to think, or I used to like to think, that I didn't care what anybody else thought. I just wanted to do but it's almost impossible. Like, if you're making videos, I like making videos. I want to make the best possible videos possible, right? I think I have a very, I'm in a unique situation where I have this opportunity to fill this gap that doesn't exist in Nigeria, at least as far as I'm aware, right? Of a 20-year-old guy that's building stuff and documenting the journey. I don't know anybody else that is doing it at a very good level. So I want to be the best at making those types of videos. So I have to think about these things. Like, I have to care about if people would like these videos, and all of that. So I guess that's like one question, like, what is your motive at the end of the day? I want to make videos, I want to document, and I want to be the best at it. I want to make really good videos also. I want people to come back to the channel to enjoy watching the videos. I want it to be worth the time of whoever is watching these videos. I used to make these on my laptop before. That was for my personal consumption. But now that there's other people watching it, I need to think about the other people watching it, right? And make the videos that are good enough. So I can achieve both of them. I don't think they are like mutually exclusive. That aside, the question is like, what is the mission? What exactly do I want to talk about? And when I think about this, like, okay, if I do a bit of introspection into my own personal life, like, what exactly am I spending the most of my time doing? Like, if I look through my YouTube history, 95% of the videos, they're about business, like business stuff, marketing stuff, things of that nature. That's personally what I'm enjoying and what I'm spending a lot of my time doing, at least in this phase of my life, right? That's like what lights me up and I'm really excited about. So if I was to document, I'll probably be documenting something along those lines for the most part, which is what I spend the most of my time doing. And right now, for work, we're currently building this program. I'm leading the program, right? So I'm leading the team, building the program to help Nigerians get remote jobs outside of the country. So it makes sense that if I'm going to document anything along those lines, I should probably be doing that. That is probably what I should be documenting. But then again, I'm a bit scared because, like, I don't know if people want to watch that, because I haven't really talked about anything business related, like, since I started this channel. Then, like, that's like a whole pivot, going into that pivot, which is like, and I don't know if the audience I've built so far will translate into that. And I probably shouldn't be thinking about that and just do what I want to do. But then at the same time, I really just can't help it. It's like thinking about, is this good enough? Will people want to see this? Would you guys want to watch that? Is it going to be good enough? Is my day even interesting? What I'm doing in my life is even not interesting for me to be making videos about? Like, a lot of these questions just pop up from time to time, man. And then again, it doesn't help that I now have expenses, right? I have a video editor, I have an assistant, I have a writing coach, and then I have a business mentor. The total expense for all of that is about 425,000 a month. So I now have to be thinking, okay, if I'm going to cover that cost, what do I need to make? Like, what income stream am I going to use to cover that cost? One is like AdSense, like YouTube AdSense in itself, right? And then I do the one-on-one calls. So if I have like 10 one-on-one calls in a month, and then I have YouTube AdSense pay me like maybe $100 a month, then I should be able to cover that cost. So now I'm thinking, okay, if I'm going to be able to make $100 from YouTube AdSense, then I need to care about if people are going to watch the videos that I'm making or not, because I need to be able to cover that cost, right? So it's like misaligned incentives, if you will, right? So what I'm saying, I really want to do what I want to do, but then again, I have to cover this cost, and I have to cover the cost through AdSense, and yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. Kind of just looking for that like golden center where like I'm making the stuff I want to make and I'm enjoying it and documenting that, and then people are also watching this. And if I'm being very honest, I'm just scared that like if I make that pivot to the other thing, people will stop watching. And I shouldn't care as much about that. But then again, I have expenses that I need to cover, and I need to make money from YouTube. It's weird. It's weird. But that's currently what I'm trying to figure out. Trying to figure out the format. So I want to do talking head videos. I want to do vlog type of videos. Do I want to do, like I said, the whole productivity thing or the business thing? And from what I'm saying, from everything I'm saying so far, right, like, I think the conclusion that I'm deriving, right, thinking about it and saying it out loud, is that, okay, I'm clearly more interested in like this whole business thing than I am in the whole habits, routines, all of that stuff. Even though from time to time I might include that in the videos, right? But then this is what interests me the most right now, the whole business route. So I should probably be making videos about that and documenting that process, right? Hopefully there will be some people that would care about that. I know I would personally care about that. That's the type of video I watch. Those are the type of videos I watch, right? Things of that nature. So yeah, doing that, and then doing the vlogs, not talking head videos, because like talking head videos, I don't really watch many. I do watch many talking head videos, but I don't think I want to watch talking head videos, because for the most part, talking head videos are more like authoritative than sharing the things that are going on in my life. And right now, I don't think I'm at the point where I can make videos that I'm like saying, oh, I'm teaching something. I don't want to teach anything. I just want to invite you into my life and share the things that I'm learning. So I think vlogs are like better for that. And then I want to do this whole business thing. So I guess like to conclude all of this is getting way too long. If I was to create some form of elevator pitch and I was to introduce myself on this channel, what would I say? I guess like, okay, so my name is Eyitemi. I believe that everybody has the ability to design the life that they want. Right now on this channel, I'm documenting my business and growth journey. And for the business side of things, for work, I'm currently building a program to help Nigerians get remote jobs outside of the country. So I'm documenting that process, and I'm sharing the things that I'm learning both in my self-development journey and in that business journey on this channel. I think that works. Like, what do you think? Do you think that works? I think that works. I think that works. So I guess this is me announcing, or this is me saying that is the direction I think I'm going to take things going forward, right? But then again, I'm a bit scared that like, okay, my life is probably not that interesting to have things to talk about all the time. Like, what if it gets very boring? I'm literally just in my house most of the time. But like Daniel Dillon is literally flying from China to Hong Kong to Dubai and I don't know, doing all those interesting stuff. But then my life is pretty boring, which is like the case I've always had for doing talking head videos, where I don't have to think as much about my life and do interesting things. I can just talk about whatever the video is supposed to be about, right? But then, I don't know. I guess I'll try it and see if it's too boring, and you guys let me know like, oh, your life is too boring, and like do something else. I'll figure out something else. But I think for now, I'm just going to have to try this and see what happens. A lot of this stuff like is just experimenting, man. I don't know. I think it's easy to think that people have everything figured out. Maybe if you've been watching this, you just have a picture of like me that I have things figured out. I'm very far from that, man. Like I said, I put a lot of pressure on myself and I think too much, man. Like, which has its benefits, but then a lot of downsides also. I have no clue what I'm doing. I have zero idea what I'm doing. I just know I want to make videos and I want to document stuff. I don't know what the stuff is. Okay, I guess I do know what the stuff is now, or at least I have an idea of what I want to do. But more likely than not, by next week, after I release a couple more videos, or the week after that, I'm rethinking everything again and trying to course correct again. And I think, that's how you get to where you're going, right? It's like ready, fire, aim, which is like ready, have what it is that you want to do. Fire is like start. And then when you start, you can iterate from then on. The place you don't want to be in is a place where you're not taking any action at all because you're waiting for complete clarity before you start. Like if I decided to wait till I knew exactly what I wanted to talk about, right, before even starting anything, then probably not going to start, because right now I honestly have no idea what I'm doing. With this video that you're even watching right now, I don't know if this video is going to come out well. Probably been talking in front of the camera for way too long. I don't know if anybody's watching this, but I don't care. Like, I'm just going to do it. I do care. That's not true. I do care a lot. Because when I finish recording this video, I'm probably going to be thinking, okay, was that worth anything? Should anybody have watched? Like, is anybody going to want to watch that? Like, is this valuable? Is this not valuable? But, like, just starting, and then hopefully with time, things will get clear and I'd have a clear idea of like what exactly I want to do. Maybe not 100% clarity, but at least a better idea of like the type of things I want to do and documenting. But this, as far as documenting, this is like, this is documenting, me just sharing with you the confusion around the process and then thinking about what exactly I want to do and trying to find clarity, with the content, with the things that I'm doing in general. And this is like pretty much most of the time. Another thing that I wanted to talk about, this video is getting too long, but I'm going to just post it exactly like this. If anybody watches, that's good. If nobody watches, it's fair. Even though I still need to make my $100 to cover my costs, or else I'm going to enter, financial ruin. Another thing is like, I've been thinking about recently is like this concept that one of my mentors calls self-supervision. Like, low-key, sometimes I think about it and I'm like, wait, he was actually the one telling me this. And then after I was thinking about it, he was like, he said one of the reasons why he I guess one of the things he likes about me is like the concept of like the idea of like self-supervision and the fact that I have that trait of self-supervision. And it's one of the things that he looks for in people that he wants to work with. And self-supervision is basically the ability for you to give yourself a task and then follow through with that task and then stick to that task to achieve a particular outcome for the reason of you want to do that thing, right? So for example, I could have decided to still be in Ibadan right now, right? Like nobody was chasing me out of Ibadan. Like, why did I decide to come to a whole new city and start life quote unquote again, right? I could have decided to do that and like everything would be fine. But because for some weird reason, I felt like I wanted to do more and I wasn't content with just doing that, I decided to move to this place and then start life again and then face all of the troubles that are involved with all of that, right? And I could have decided, for example, also, right, with work, before I started doing this whole remote program thing, I was like on another side of the like business doing something else, right? I could have decided to continue doing that, but then I spoke with my boss and we kind of like discussed this thing of this remote job program. I'm like, yeah, sure, I would like to do that. I could have decided to just keep on doing what I was doing before, right? I could have been in Ibadan right now, back at home with my parents, eating my mother's food, my mommy's food, and like just chilling, doing the thing I was doing before and not making these videos, right? Why am I deciding to make these videos and to be stressing so much, spending so much energy and time stressing about like whether these videos are good enough or they are not good enough? And like I could decide to just stop doing this and just focus on the other things I was doing and like just not expend this much energy and time and brain power thinking about all of these things. But then I don't know, it's like a curse and a blessing at the same time, which is like I'm just not comfortable. And most likely if you're watching this video, you are the same way, or you're basically the same way. I'm just not comfortable like sitting alone and just doing nothing or doing the regular things that I'm supposed to be doing, right? Which is weird. It's like a blessing because, if it works out, you end up like living a better life and literally living your life by design, dreaming up a vision that you want for yourself and then working to achieve that. But at the end of the day, you really don't have to. Like, all of this is not necessary. I could, like I said, just be back in Ibadan, in my parents' house, eating my mommy's food and doing the stuff I was doing for work before and not making these videos, and I would be chilling and I'll have a lot more free time probably be going out with people, going out more often, chilling, living a relatively chill life, right? But here I am in another city, stressing out on Saturday by 4:32 p.m, about whether or not I want to make talking head videos or or vlogs about, like, guys, sometimes I just ask myself, like, who's chasing you? Like, like, who's actually chasing you, But then again, I can't just help myself. Like, what's the other option, Yeah. Now I have to figure out, this whole YouTube thing that I've started now thinking about. I have to figure out how I'm going to cover the cost, because, like, it's quite expensive to run the whole operation. And then again, like, I don't have to have an editor. I could be editing these videos by myself. I don't need to have an assistant that's helping me out with, like, the one-on-one calls, setting up for that, reaching out to people, community posts, doing a couple of things there. I don't need to have that. I don't need to have a writing coach. Neither do I need to have a business mentor. All of these are not like needs. They are just wants, right? So I could decide to not do all of that. But I feel like if I'm going to do something, I have to do it to the best of my ability. Like, if I'm going to do the videos, the editing has to be good. And I know by myself, I don't have the time and energy to like spend with, like, editing the videos to the points that I wanted to get to. I have to find somebody else that is good, right, at editing the videos. So right now I have an editor. And then again, like, I'm somewhat of a perfectionist on that end. The last video that I released, I filmed it on the 5th of November. And I didn't release it until the 19th of November because we're iterating. I don't like this. Let's change this. And he eventually delivered very well on the video, right? So I don't necessarily need to create the best videos that I can create. I could just create decent videos, like the videos I was making before. If you look at, like, the first video I have on the channel compared to this video, or the last video at least, like, the difference is night and day. I decided to get this camera, which was stupid expensive. I mean, relatively expensive is relative, but, like, it was stupid expensive. Even, like, yeah, to me, it was quite expensive. But then again, I feel like if I have to make videos, I want it to be the best. So I'm going to buy this camera. Now I'm thinking, okay, I just spent my emergency funds on a camera. So now I have to fill up my emergency funds again. How am I going to get enough money to, like, build up my emergency funds again? And then, the writing coach. Okay, I want to be writing newsletters. If I'm going to be writing newsletters, I don't want it to be any other newsletter that anybody is reading. I know I'm not the best at writing. I have a friend who's really good at writing. I want to pay her to teach me how to write, because I'm not just going to be releasing rubbish into the world. So I need to get somebody that knows how to do it. It's like an extra expense. I don't have to, but I feel like I need to. So you see, you have, like, a blessing and a curse at the same time, because if it works out, it's good. But then it just comes to extra stress, extra pressure, extra, like, headache, and yeah, just, it's difficult, man. So I guess the conclusion from all of this is I've been ranting for like 20 minutes straight. So I don't even know if anybody's going to watch this. If you're watching this right now, comment in the comment section. What should you comment? Comment Nike slippers. Just say, like, Nike slippers. Just comment Nike slippers. Let's confuse everybody that did not watch it up until this point. So yeah, the conclusion is I'm going to be doing the the vlog type stuff, documenting the business stuff and the things I'm learning on that journey. That feels like a clearer goal now. It feels like a clearer mission that I have. Okay, I'm building out this program to help Nigerians get remote jobs outside of the country, right? My goal for now, at least from now to the end of the year, has been to help 2 people get remote jobs. We're currently on track to do that. Hopefully before the end of the year, we're able to complete that. And next year, I set another goal for myself, maybe to directly help 100 people get remote jobs outside of the country. And I'm documenting the process of me getting that, of me doing that. That feels like a mission that you're coming back to see the progress of. I feel like if I was a viewer, I would want to come back to see that. So that is progress. That is what I'm going to be doing. And alongside documenting that and the things we're doing there, I'm also going to be sharing just lessons from life, like the whole productivity thing. I can just slip a couple of those things inside, things that I'm personally doing, I'm personally learning, and then from time to time just rant like this, right? So yeah, that feels like clarity. I feel like I've made progress with this 20-minute rant. Yeah, I have a meeting by 5, so I'm going to prep for that. It's currently 4:36. Been ranting for quite a while. Bye.